Imagine how James Gunn feels. Well, one moment a few years ago, he's a PDF file and he's at the fucking rock bottom.
Allegedly.
He gets allegedly. He's
just saying.
Okay. Allegedly, YouTube. I'm starting to learn that. Then all of a sudden, rock bottom, okay, gets hired on by DC, gets his Marvel movie back, and now he's the Kevin Feige of DC. So yeah, the internet does move very fast.
And now James Gunn has decided he's going to make a Superman movie all about his cancellation. I'm not going to dismiss this as a possible situation, but it's so dumb. How could it be real? But how many times have we said that in the past?
Correct.
That this can't be this dumb.
Correct.
And now we're going to talk about it. This is from Cosmic Book News, and this rumor has been all over the internet. Like, this can't be happening. But we can't dismiss it completely because we've seen so many things that we've initially saw the leaks and the rumors, and we said, that's so bad, there's no way it's true. And then it turned out to not only be true, but it's even worse. So right here, James Gunn's revenge on conservatives and the internet. A bizarre rumored plot for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims the Man of Steel gets dragged into the world of cancel culture. In the leak, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. No, we're not joking. It's further claimed that James Gunn uses the hashtag supershit in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. The real twist? Lex Luthor himself is behind all of it, with an army of mutant monkeys at keyboards to flood and trolls the internet and tear Superman down. Now, you're probably seeing that and you're thinking to yourself, there's no way. There's no way that this could possibly be real because it sounds so incredibly dumb. And I would agree with that take because my retweet said, this is so dumb, but it's actually believable, for fuck's sake. And then Gary says, how many times have we thought that and it turns out to be true and worse? And I said, memories of Mahler and I reading the Game of Thrones spoilers and thinking there's no way it can be this bad. Mahler responds and says, I stand by the leaks actually being more reasonable than what we ended up seeing on the show. Me and Mahler read those leaks together for the first time. We were on a stream, or I think we're on a Discord call after a stream or something. And we're like, there's no way. There's no way this is true. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Gary heard from someone at a test screening. Oh no, super shit rumors in James Gunn's Superman are true. I heard a few other people say that they are true as well. This is at a test screening. Can they change this? Potentially. But it looks like this insane rumor is actually true. Now, how much of this rumor is in the story? Does this carry the story forward? Is this the entire template of the entire movie? Don't know, but apparently this is actually real. This is James Gunn essentially telling you his story, his real life story through Superman, because James Gunn was canceled years ago for tweets that he had 10 years prior on Twitter that I've covered on this channel. And I'm not going to get into the details of those tweets. Let's just say that they're the worst things you could imagine another human being saying. And it involves people that it should never be discussed around, being children. They're terrible tweets, horrifically bad. He was
pictures from parties and stuff.
That's right. So he was fired from Disney because of these tweets, and he eventually got rehired. But this, and I feel like, I'm speaking from my perspective. I feel like James Gunn has been able to move on from this disaster pretty well, all things considered. People still bring it up because they should, but I feel like he's moved past that controversy. The fact that he could be tying that controversy into this Superman movie only brings it back up and only wants to make people discuss it again. And it will then shine light on it all over again for people that weren't aware that it happened. Right. So it's going to backfire on him in that case. What do you say about all this?
there's so many layers to this where, yeah, James Gunn is just going to resurface all the shit that he went through. If this is going to be an allegory for him and Lex Luthor and his mutant monkey keyboard warriors is going to be an allegory for conservatives, it's just going to resurface all of the stuff that James Gunn wants people to forget about. This isn't some kind of like revenge story where he's going to feel like validated after this. This is just weird, dude. It is a superhero movie, and we lost Henry Cavill for this story where Lex Luthor has a army of literal, and I take it as verbatim from the Cosmic Book News actual website article, that Lex Luthor's minions are going to actually be mutant monkeys in another dimension that have a VPN to Earth, and that they're tweeting on Twitter hashtag super shit, we hate Superman, super shit.
God.
And Superman is going to be damaged by this. If Superman wanted to, he can take down the entire fucking online grid.
Oh,
So and honestly, isn't Clark Kent and Superman a little bit too busy to be checking what Twitter has to say about him? Now, the way around this is what I think they could also go is Clark's position at the Daily Planet is covering social media about Superman. Like, I could see Perry White saying, all right, Clark, you're on Superman tweets today. What is everybody tweeting about Superman? Like, that's going to be his job at the Daily Planet. And then he has to fucking write a newspaper article about what people are saying on social media about Superman. And that's what's going to get him so upset. That's how he's digging in. Super shit, hashtag super shit. And it's like, this isn't Superman. This isn't Superman. And allegedly, they're bringing in Gorilla Grodd to kind of like keep an eye on these mutant monkeys in another dimension. This movie is already crowded as it is, with Lex Luthor and Ultraman being, you know, what it seems from the trailers that Lex Luthor is the main villain, and it looks like Ultraman is working for Lex Luthor. But also, we have Metamorpho in this movie as well. Don't forget about the Justice League of America. You got is it the Justice Society maybe?
Well, why does he feel the need to have to pack this movie full? Like, it's not even about Superman at this point anymore. It does feel like a Justice League movie in a lot of ways.
Because you got Green Lantern, you got Guy Gardner, you got Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, Supergirl. Don't forget, Supergirl's supposed to make an appearance in this movie as well. There is a lot going on in this movie, and if we're bringing Gorilla Grodd into this too to be another villain, and what the runtime is just over 2 hours, it's going to be all over the place. And the fact that the main narrative bringing Superman down is cyberbullying, bro.
The only way that I could see this even being acceptable is if it's literally just one little scene in the movie. As like it's just mentioned. It's like he's having a conversation with Perry White or something about it. You know what I mean? At the office. And that's it. But if this is like a crucial element in the story within the movie that drives the story, this is going to be a massive disaster. And at this point in time, apparently he does respond to people on Threads. The fact that he's on Threads is the gayest thing ever, by the way. It's surprised he's not on Blue Sky as well. But the fact that he decides to spend his time on Threads further lends to the rumor that Lex Luthor is an allegory for Elon Musk.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I said that last night.
Yeah. I mean, that further lends to that. So, and if this is the worst PR I have heard for this movie to date, and if he responds to all these other little fucking rumors, if he doesn't respond to this rumor, it tells you that it's true and they can't do anything about it. And we're so close to the release date. When is the release date? July?
Like
July
11th, I think.
It's too late to change this shit if this is actually in there. If this is a major part of the movie, it's too late.
Yeah,
they cannot fix this.
Yeah, I'm with you that Lex Luthor is going to be an allegory for Elon and the mutant monkeys on computers who are botting out tweets. That's an allegory for conservatives and Trump supporters too.
This is amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't.
It's going to be painful, dude. It's going to be bad. And I also said this last night, something like this you can see in like a Spider-Man story, because Spider-Man works for the Bugle. J. Jonah Jameson's always wants the next, dirty hit piece on Spider-Man, always saying Spider-Man's a menace, and Peter Parker's the one that's, working for it because, he's living paycheck to paycheck. This is like, I could see this working for something like Spider-Man, but for Superman, we've seen Superman get some bad publicity, like in Batman v Superman and some other Superman projects. But to go to this level, this doesn't feel like something that is accurate to a Superman story.
Yeah, I guess, again, it really comes down to how much of this is intertwined in the overall story of the movie. The only thing I will put an asterisk beside it is to say, if this is a little bitty subplot that lasts 2 minutes, that's the only thing that I could see this not being detrimental to the movie, or if it's just mentioned where, hey, this is happening and Superman's like, this is bullshit, whatever. He's upset about it for a minute and then they move on. But if this is pushing the story forward, this movie is DOA. And James Gunn would do something like this. He just would. That's the type of person he is.
Yep.
Like these guys, these Hollywood people, they feel like it's it's my duty to tell a proper story about the world we live in and defeat the evil Trump and the evil Elon Musk. I have to use Superman as the symbol for hope and do good in this world.
Superman.
I know.
He thinks he's Superman. And it's so funny how when Warner Brothers went in another direction with Gunn and the Snyderverse and sad Superman, weeping Superman, a very down, dark, battered Superman. Now it's time for James Gunn. Hopeful Superman, the bright colors. You got the fucking trunks that everybody was crying for. And you get hope with James Gunn's Superman. And now what's happened? Oh, it's another fucking depressed, sad Superman because he's been cyberbullied.
I mean, I did not hate the trailer. I know the trailer had mixed reactions. I didn't hate the trailer. I felt the trailer was probably like a 7.5 out of 10. I liked the trailer. I was hoping for more from it, but let's not forget, I think the trailers for Man of Steel are the best trailers ever made, and I hated the movie. That the trailers were fantastic. So the trailer's only going to give you so much. I will die on the hill of saying that Man of Steel trailers are probably the best trailers I've ever seen for any movie.
They're up there.
God, they're so fucking good. I'll still watch the Man of Steel trailers. I still watch them because they're so good. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see how this happens.
I'm better than you. I actually watched Man of Steel, not just the trailers.
I watched Man of Steel 5 times.
That makes me a better person.
I watched it 5 times in theaters.
I think I watched it 3 times in theaters.
I watched it 5 times. Fucking bullshit movie.